Hi, welcome to my tube. Look what I got today. A friend out there in Tubesville sent this to me. I was a little low earlier. I guess they knew that. I ain't low no more. Mom was so excited. Oh my god, see, because I love flowers. I freaking love flowers, man. I don't really need to show that stuff. But, with that being without water, I haven't had the. If you look at my Snapnacks channel, I show a picture of my whole house when I lived in Omaha in the yard. I had flowers everywhere. I just freaking love flowers. I just love all things nature, and they raise your vibe, man. It's all alchemy. It's all alchemy. Changing a stale, low vibrational frequency. You smell a flower, man. You look at these flowers. How can you not? How can you not? God, they're just freaking spectacular, dude. We were looking at them, Mom. I'm like, Mom, there's even eucalyptus down here. There's eucalyptus. There's these are. I like to send flowers to people too. I like just because they're them, and flowers are nice. So, thank you for this, Fragine. Thank you for all of it, man. It's so wonderful. So wonderful. God bless. God is good. God is good. So my name's Marge. I don't know if I said that. I'm a Hilke empath. I just like having these little talks about how I feel about things. At Last is playing in my ear right now. It's been kind of a good day. Been a mellow day. I was just trying to keep my emotions and feelings at bay, because I'm one of those real sensitive types. See, one of those too, since I pick up on everything. I pick up on my emotions. We had an incident where mom's dog Sass. Pray for Sass. She just she's not in any pain. She's just real old, and she's about the end of and that's gonna be huge stress for Ma. And this move is already huge stress for Ma. So it's just another thing, just another thing. It's just another thing. So, but it ain't today. We sat out in the tree with Sass, and I brushed Mom's hair, and we got some fresh air, and because Mom don't know. I'm like, Mom, she's 17, she's 18, she's had a life full. I got hundreds and thousands. I got hundreds, maybe a thousand, maybe I got hundreds of pictures of Sass. I was gonna have one of those books made for her, one of those coffee table books. But see, Mom's been carrying her on her lap. She carries her in a little dog bed everywhere she goes. So that's like, I think about how that is all gonna change when she's not gonna have her carrying around. But it's not today. It's not today. It's not that headspace. Today they're together and they're joyful and they're, See, because mom always, because relationships with people are so hard. Because people act one way, but they say different things. But I always dealt with people in accordance as to how they felt. And people they act one way and feel another way. Oftentimes it's very confusing for people like me. So interpretation, is hard. But anyway, I was gonna talk about earlier today. Give my little Jessie Zabota plug. She put her freaking went down a little ant hole early this morning, and I was just like, man, it's too early for this knowing, man, for this recognition, because I always been drawn to people that have a lot of experience in life. And when I lived in Omaha, I had a life mentor, and she worked at at LESU, and for a spell back in 2010 for a few years, and she was a professor for some doctorate program, some master's program in a doctorate class or something like that, and I've worked in academia. I worked at a university, ran the student service desk, the IT desk, the geek squad for Creighton University, so to speak, in lack of better terms. Only we didn't charge people for stuff. It's just free service, and I see what stupid people do, how bad they are with technology. No wonder, But anyway, it's okay. I wasn't always good with it. I had to learn, take care of my own stuff too. Anyway, so I've always been around these people that just, just really, really important. Just ask them how important they are, And I never understood, because how people got to thinking that they were so important in life. Like, I would watch people and just like, man, they think that they are really important, that people really need to bow to them and act a certain kind of way and stuff like that. It was weird to me. When I worked in hospitals, doctors did it, doctors. I know this one, and he was just a radiologist. Dude would go down to the gym, and freaking people hated when he'd go into this one area because he'd freaking blow his snot rockets on the wall. And he just, someone will clean it up. And I just know how the arrogance and the grossness of how the egomaniacal can be. And they always get the best parking places and stuff like that. And then there's this one radiologist. He was from, this is when I worked at Creighton, on the CUMC, the medical center. I started at the medical center, and then I went to university side. So I got my hands, feet in both freaking dumb worlds of the medical field and what a crock it is, and then the academia and what a freaking horse shit that is too. It's all a racket. So, Creighton University, if you go to Wendy.com, it's a trippy thing. I track a lot of storms and stuff like that. We had a storm, and with the smoke the last week and stuff, it's all cleared out now, by the way. I don't know what the media is saying, but I saw the blue skies today for the first time, and I don't know, remember whatever, the fire started, and the air is clear, and for that I'm grateful. God bless. God is good. So, if you go to Wendy.com, they're on the right, on the desktop version, not your phone, desktop version. If you go to there's a satellite view. I should get screen sharing software, huh? But see, I have a Mac, and evidently Apple or YouTube hates Apple, so they don't like making it real freaking easy. Everything's proprietary. Like, it's like most of the time I get errors like, oh, you need Chrome, and Chrome is crap, and I hate Chrome, so I try to avoid it at all costs possible. Yeah, on the right side, if you go in the menu, it says radar and satellite, and if you click on the satellite one, it shows the map of the United States. Well, right in the middle of the United States is Omaha, Nebraska, and if you click on that right there, you're looking at the cathedral at Creighton University, and I used to work on that building just to the south, or the east, excuse me, just to the west of here. It's behind all the trees where those two little circles are. You have a fountain in front, and where the red bricks are. See all those red bricks? I'm getting to a point of this story, folks. See all these red bricks down here? See all this red brick, red brick, red brick, red brick? They have, they were all over Omaha. They were all over down the stockyards. They were just everywhere, these red bricks. And I actually knew the woman that was a life mentor for me. Her husband was one of those huge crane operators up in, like, North Slope, Alaska. You know, where the man camps are, where I'm sure a lot of freaking people end up, unbeknownst to them. Anyway, with the storylines that are coming over up today, but these red bricks, because I woke up this morning and Jesse was talking about red bricks, and I was like, oh my god. Because I remember that story that he told me about these, they all came from, he told me the whole freaking story, and it was so long and it was so drawn out, and I had a hard time listening to him because our minds work so different. I'm a direct point, and he, like, goes all the way around through this way. Like, if you're looking at one of those old mazes, you know, I used to always figure them out, because I'm like, well, usually in these mazes they have you go the long way around and then they go back to a more direct route. So I kind of guess on, like, how the person makes it, and then I go through it that way. It's much quicker because it's always kind of, you know. they're always kind of the same. Like how TVs always have kind of the same plot storylines in different genres and stuff like that. It's like people reinvent the same wheel. God dang, those flowers smell so good. Aromatherapy. So those red bricks, she mentioned something this morning about, and it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking about the red bricks and what they, all the people that are missing and all the stuff that comes up. Oh, the bricks. Oh, the bricks. So many bricks. And what's in the bricks? The red bricks and red shoes, red bricks. Hope people don't get all the wrong idea about me because I drive a big red truck. She just blushes a lot. I am for God. In the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, Satan. I say that all the time now. I say it in different, like, little cartoon voices. But ain't that a trip, you know? Of all the webcams, of all the locations that they could put on Wendy.com, it's right out at the red bricks in front of the. You know, that could, if you look at this picture. The webcam, it's coming off one of the dorms. I can't, because all the dorms are named. I used to remember all the dorm names. I don't care no more. But it's on the tallest dorm. The webcam is pointing down at the cathedral, and that cathedral was so cool. I always liked churches and cathedrals because of like the smells of the oil, and then Jesse. You know, it's just like all you got to do is anoint the oils, bless the oil, and then. You know, don't forget to bless your food before you eat it, you know, and eat it with people you love. So it puts your body in that high vibrational state, you know, and there's a lot of ways that people can do to freaking ward off the freaking darkness and the shadows that are just squirming out right now. They're freaking out right now trying to freaking find a place to land. And it's like, no, man, you don't get to you don't get to live on the 5D earth. So take all that 3D bullshit, take all your 3D ego stuff. Tucker is snoring his little head off over there, his little septum over there. I think he has a deviated septum. He's so precious, man. He is so precious. Look at that. God, they're just all little freaking fuzzy little aliens. I mean, we're all little aliens, I think. So the red bricks, man, and he told me the whole story about how they came from Chicago and how they're, you know, and it's all that masonry stuff, and she got me down an anthole today with a guy that's going through all of the freaking ceremonial stuff. Oh my gosh. And that was a smack in the face because I'm like, oh my God. When I was like 15, I was hanging out with this girl. She was like 18. She was like a big sister kind of thing. And she went to high school with my brother. And then they graduated, and then I came into high school. So I never really hung out with kids in high school because I always hung out with people that were already out of high school. A lot of them. And then there were people in high school, but anyway. And we went and did one of those. She had to do one. I don't think she did it. Like, I don't know if she ever like continued on. I don't know. We fell out of touch years ago. Our lives went off in a different course, different directions. Yeah. But I remember going to the Masonic Temple in frickin' Reading, and it was right up on top of the hill, and right down below it is where Lost Lanes was, and that's where the whole town knows that that's where they have satanic cult rituals. Whole town knows. That's, you know, whole town. And the trippy part is, I used to hang out with kids that their dad lived back there. So I never walked down there. Because I never once wanted to go. I didn't want to see it. I always been with people. I'm like, no, I'll wait in the car. I don't want, I always stayed away from it. But people, oh yeah, and you can see the bloodstains on the altar rocks and all that stuff. And it's just like, and there's people in the community that go down there for generations and generations and just pray for the souls that were lost at that location. See, and so many people, they think it's cute, they think it's funny, they think, oh, like AC/DC, and you're doing your little hand gestures. I like hang loose. I used to do, but I never been big on that because everybody does different stuff, and I'm always, okay, whatever, what up? I ain't big on ain't big on peace, victory. They have their own representations that I don't appreciate, so I'm not going to do any of them, So I remember that because she had to. I'm like, well, this isn't fun because all that stuff, all that pageantry, the women had to wear the big stupid dress. Like she had to wear the hoop dress, the huge ass hoop dress, you know. And so I think of the people that are involved with this stuff back then and where they are now, and the levels of what they've gained because they are a lot of most. I mean, that's what's gotten us into the accord that we are into now, and now is because there are so many are in positions of power and authority. And so they're taking advantage of their positions of power and authority. I wonder why I haven't had water in 3 years. I mean, come on. It's just stupid. Just because somebody don't feel like turning on a knob. It's not like I haven't paid the bill down from freaking $1,300. I still gotta pay it, but I'm like, I switching gears. You know, I was gonna pay it off before I move, but I gotta use that move, and you know, and I'll pay it off. You know, I'll pay it off. It'll be in my time and not theirs. That's all that is. So, I'm gonna close this Wendy page because I think it's messing stuff on. Oh, thank you, Fragine. They're so wonderful, and they're such the hi, Carl. Where we go when we go, we're all connected. I watched the protest in Minneapolis. Dude, fucking DT's got jokes, man. That guy, he's a Scorpio moon, man. He's a Scorpio moon, and so he's just like I got Scorpio moon too. We just say what we think, and if we don't think much of you, we're gonna say it. You know, it doesn't mean that we're always gonna not think that much of you, but just in that moment, maybe you might want to direct your course line of thinking. Good boys, nubs. Good boys, plop butts. Plop butts. Oh, sweet dogs. I'm making butter. I gotta go dump it out as soon as I do this so I can make cookies in the morning. The big red truck's good. Fuel filter's inside, so they didn't fix nothing. They didn't charge me nothing, so I think I need to get them some sandwiches or something like that. Bring it to them, maybe buy them some pizza, have it delivered or something like that. Because they cast down at Cascade Tire in Salem, Morgan. They did it right by me. They treated me good, fair, just. And you always got to give credit what credit's due. So the red bricks, that was just like, and then I started thinking about it, you know. Because all of these stories, it is such a freaking, it's been really blowing my mind because I listen to so many astrology reports and they keep talking about you're going to get all this awareness with my placements, where my planets are, like all the signs, you know, they're like, you're going to get all this knowing and you're going to get all this awareness and all these, you know, all these secrets are going to be revealed and stuff, right? And I'm just like, how is this going to happen in my life? And then freaking 2 weeks ago, I started listening to Jessie Zaboda because Fragine recommended her to me. This is the only Beyonce song that I like, and it's not even Beyonce. I don't. It's number one's Destiny's Child. Check on it. I think that's before she became one of the dark high priestesses, devil ladies. But I like this song. And I already got rid of Ed Sheeran and Lady Gaga. This one I actually just recently downloaded. I can't wait till the dances open back up. That's cool. Somebody said, you came and visited me the other night in your night shift. That's where my spirit wanders and I go out and I venture out in higher dimensions and maybe I'll meet you there, right? People are like, you came and visited. We had a dance party, and I was like, yeah, right on, you know. And I've had other people come in and say, yeah, you came in and visited me the other night, like freaky deaky stuff. And I'm here to say right now, I ain't into that shit. I squash that shit right here, right now. I'm a monogamous vibrational being. So if you think that I'm dipping in on you and doing some dippy sex magic tantric horse shit, it ain't me. It's somebody with my face, but it ain't me, because my spirit ain't in it. So, where was I? Anyway, I might come in and visit in your dreams. We might have a little dance party, but we're going to keep it freaking playground rules, right? Just have a good time. Like, if you keep things like elementary, right? You know, I don't like I know, see, because I know all about the pervy stuff. I know too much about that pervy stuff, so I'm one of them prude types, you see. But hey, people can have plenty of fun and frickin' free flow, right? I just always never was comfortable that why everybody had to make everything all about sex and stuff like that. That's made me uncomfortable since I was a little girl. Because, of course, you know, grown man had his way with me as a 10-month-old baby, so my whole life is built around things that don't happen. And now, thanks to Jesse, and to thanks to all the other whistleblowers, and to thank all the other, and I've been talking about my story for 3 years, because I'm like, this is what's happened, this is what happened, this is the reality of the world, this is the stuff that's happened, and now they're all coming out, and they're putting it all on blast. So I'm like, I feel like my whole life has been validated. I really do. I used to hear people talk about that, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? It's like you never felt validated. I had no comprehension of that. Because I don't think it ever really mattered to me. But now with all, you know, even today, Tarot by Janie talked about, just today in her Friday show, talked about how when she was in high school, she knew a woman that because in the 70s, Native American women, they sterilized them like they're still doing today. That brave woman, I wish I remember her name. I said it on the first video because I got a screen grab of it. And I read the whole article. That whistle blow on the nasty people in the ice concentration camps. The ones that are they're mutilating women still. They're still sterilizing them by taking all or part of their uterus. And I was like, when I was born, that's what they did to my mom. See, because I didn't know we were Native American, but we look Native. You know, I was a baby, but evidently my mom looks really Native American. I don't know anything. I just look at people. Some people that have a darker shade of skin. When I was a little girl, there was a black man that came up, and I was like, it was the first black man I'd ever seen. I was probably 2 years old, and I was all, you know, and wide-eyed and stuff, and you know, because he was different than anything I'd ever seen. And he walked up, and he was so kind. He's like, go ahead. He's like, touch my arm. I'm just like you. And I was like, yeah, right? You know, and oh, you're different. So tell me about what life is like where you're from. I never hated people because they were different. I always liked them because, hey, you're from someplace different, so you can teach me about how much bigger the world is. But then you have those closed off ones that freaking don't want to know about every other things, and their ego shrouds and they get all dark, and they're so closed off, and they don't want to learn about it. They just want to control their lives and everything and everyone around them in it. And well, there's no spirit in that. So I'm trying to find the picture. I got a cute little picture of Mom and the flowers. It's bigger than her, that bouquet. The Zymox, Earth Angel, a gal told me about. Marge said use Zymox, and I went to Petco to get it today, and they don't sell it in the store. You can only order it online. So right out in the parking lot, I ordered it from the website, and it should be delivered Monday for Benny's ear. But I've been keeping it dry. It ain't been, but it's usually right when we wake up. It really bothers him, and right at bedtime. So I'm just like, all right, buddy, just a couple more wake ups and sleeps and wake ups, and then. Where is it? Yep, the Department of frickin' Revenue in Oregon closed and won't be open until the 21st because of the conditions of the fire. It's like, come on, why can't people just say what they mean? Why do they gotta frickin' make up some bullshit? They always gotta make up some bullshit like we're dumb enough to believe it. Here's the article, but I don't have the lady's name. ICE whistleblower. Nurse alleges hysterectomies on immigrant women in U.S. And see, the thing of it is those freaking bastards that did that, they don't even know how much freaking crazy that caused, how much damage that caused to families. They don't even care. It was all about profit. And I wonder if I have any siblings out there, because they cut her uterus in half and took out her ovary. So what did they do with all those eggs in her ovary? And what did they do with all those other women's eggs that they took their ovaries? You know? And then it makes me wonder about all that makeup, because I ain't never worn makeup. You know, I think pretty, you know, I have worn makeup. I own makeup. I get the stuff that isn't tested on animals and doesn't have no weird shit in it. See, because that's the thing, is people get a wrong idea about what that they can do. And even with that whole, you know, with the whole uterus thing and hysterectomy thing, then they freaking did stupid weird shit like put horse urine in pills and called it Premarin, and then gave it to the women like it was gonna balance out their hormones to the point of they're gonna act crazy, or not act crazy, because they're fucking half their uterus is gone and their body's fucking flipping out every 28 days. Crimes against humanity. I'm just trying to take care of my mom because they did that shit to her then. I'm just trying to take care of my mom. And they don't tell me, they don't help me, nobody helps me. No, you know, people, strangers, I rely on the kindness of strangers to help me take care of my mom. That's who helps. People I don't even know send me money to help me take care of my mom. And flowers. God works through other people, and I shut myself off from years and years from people because they just were mean and dicks, and then I made to me mean and turned me into a dick, and then nobody wanted to deal with me because I was a dick. So I had to come to Oregon and de-dick. I de-dicked in Oregon. So, you know, that's why I work so hard to take care of Mom, because of freaking all. She was born with Cleft Feet, man. She was taken from her family, Native American, taken from her family, put into a freaking white people's freaking, you know, they did, and she had a Jewish brother that was adopted, Kelly. He was Jewish. They did the same thing to him. Took him from this family, you know. Displaced them. Then she got her Cleft Feet fixed. So she all the orphanages, all that shit that they've been doing for years and years, like they're still doing it. Now finally people are starting to see that of the grossness and monstrosities that are happening at the hands of people that are profiting substantially because of these disgusting freaking gross systems that farm people and eat people and enslave people. And 2020 is the year of clear vision, and you can't deny it anymore. We can't deny it anymore. Here's a pretty cool freaking. This was on. Ooh, I think I'm gonna freaking post that one on Snap next. September 21st, 2017. It's a mothership right there. See it? You see it? There. Pretty cool, huh? They're everywhere, man. They're always right around. I don't want to delete that photo. I got a lot of pretty cool shots. I was looking for seconds and inches. Seconds and inches. I had a picture of Mom when we were young. So and it's so funny because, I mean, it's so, we just really kick it. We really have a good time these days. Oh, here it is. That was my mom. That was my mom. She saved us from a lot of stuff. She did. And she was just a, it's funny because I'm like, I talk about, she's only 5 foot, and big men just power through and I got my strength in my fight from her. People underestimate people all the time. And they don't realize how life is how fragile life is, man. Like physically, how easy it is to hurt people. I've been keeping an eye on her because these energies are so weird. So I mean, she goes to the bathroom and stuff like that. Fine, no problem. But like going out in the backyard, no, I ain't letting her go back by herself. It's like, everything's all wonky and weird. So got to take care of her. Got to make sure that she's safe. And we brushed her hair and stuff today, and I love doing that. I can't wait to wash her hair. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing a good job, but I'm doing the best I can. I do a pretty good job. It's just we're almost at the end. And I almost do every day the same over and over, and then when change comes, I kind of have a hard time, because I got to stay in the present moment. So I really appreciate the top dogs, and I have a lot. It's like my community's growing. And I even get to message Jesse sometimes, and that makes me feel good. I have a lot of one-sided conversations with people, and people have one-sided conversations. Yeah, I at least like to try, and people engage with me too, but they're just a lot more busy than I am. I have a lot, but I'm not going to have as much time, because one day I probably aren't going to be able to do 2 videos, because I want to get to a place where I'm more active in the community, and then get out and see more people in real life too. Then hopefully folks can come, wherever that is, where I'm supposed to be, come visit too. If it's I hope it's in Northern California, because it's a beautiful place, and God, there's so much goodness, but there's so much darkness that has to be cleared out, and it's doing it. But first, people got to drop their fear, and they're so darn fearful. But there's so many people coming into God right now. Jesus, God, whatever, higher power. I always call it a source, higher power. Benny's back there dreaming. But God. I got my Bible right there, I like listening to the top dog and I think that's his name, how he does the scripture. I like and Miss Sharon, I love listening to her read her scriptures. So I subscribe to these little small channels, and and I just lay here, and I just lay in comfort, knowing that I'm taken care of, and that people are taken care of, and that you keep doing the right thing, good things happen to you. And I freaking love the humor of Keegan, man. Oh, Keegan, you got if you see this, you gotta go watch the video that Pockets of the Future did earlier with the table read of Fast Times at Richmond High. Oh my gosh. Well, that was but it was hilarious. But that Demon Tegan chick was in it, and she don't look pregnant at all. So go get a screen grab of that. Like, at all. She comes up and she's bending over, and she should be, she should be showing something, but go look. I thought about you. I'm like, she's bending over, because I remember that Julia Roberts chick even said, "Oh, what is that? That's how I dress when I go to the Academy Award lunch." All those awards shows, nobody cares anymore. Nobody really cared before, but the ones that did care, now they care less. So it's like all that billions of dollars that have been, just give it to people so they can build tiny houses and live off grid and do that shit and and you can have your little smart cities if you want. You can, and if the people are willing to take their freaking chip and live as muskrats and bend their knee to a false god and keep giving their power and juice and praise to false gods and demons and all that. Do that in the city, but let us go off and be peaceful and leave us alone. Because I think more of us want peace than more of that freaking busy nonsense bullshit anymore at this point, Oh, and with Creighton University, there's tunnels everywhere. They're all over. Jesuit University? Yeah. Yeah, they used to, College World Series would come into town. Every year they'd lock down the network security extra tight so that the human traffickers and sex traffickers couldn't use our networks to do their evil bidding. Like, well, if you guys know about it, why don't you just work with the authorities and stop it? Oh, because it's... I see who profits. I see. Oh, I see. I get it. Because if people don't stop it, because there's this thing called freedom. There's this thing that the spirit longs for, to be free and for expansion. But the thing of it is, if spirit and love, Jesus Christ consciousness, is not hurtful, it's not mean, it's all the goodness, It's the no vibers. They're the ones that are the wicked, that love to get, take the freaking last breath of a human to take their spirit into them. When I help a lot of people pass, animals, dogs, humans. I'm always there for passings of things. It's been like a common. But I always like to help them go in love and not be scared. Don't be scared. In heaven, you're going to heaven. You're gonna beat me to heaven. Don't be scared. Save me a seat. I'll tell Arthur I said, hey, what's up, homie? I'll be there later. I got shit to do still. I got still lessons to learn and whatnot. But don't be scared. Because that's for all the answers. I guess that Ginsburg chick, 87 years of not turnover, of no term limits. The stuff that happened. Now she's meeting her maker. I wonder if she's really resting in peace. That's the thing, is everything we do every day, we're gonna have to answer for that at some point to something or somebody. And people have taken the easier, softer way, and a lot of that easier, softer way has been very dark, and very wicked, and very evil. And people like me, our whole lives are based on all of that shit, of me dodging it. It's amazing that I'm alive, especially because I was a drunk for so many, that I was a drunk for 13 years and didn't die. Because people, the way that I drank, we don't live. For people like me, to drink is to die. And when I came here and I started drinking after 13, 14 years sober, I was doing wine sampling, and there's a couple times I got shit-faced, but you know what happened? There's always a consequence. Every single time there's a consequence. And I was like, if I don't drink, that consequence doesn't happen. And see, the thing of it is that is when I realized, that is when I was given the grace of yet another spiritual awakening, of realizing this life is not just for me. That if I freaking get drunk, fall down, crack my skull, die, ain't nobody gonna check on mom, ain't nobody gonna check on the dogs. And that is the cold hard reality of the situation. So playtime's over and you're living for your mother. Then I started doing this as like a side project, because I can't keep this all stuff, because I used to go to meetings all the time. I'm used to sharing my feelings. So I started doing this talk 3 years ago. I posted on Twitter this afternoon a talk called Head Shaking Episode, Getting Back to Grassroots, on Twitter. 3 years, that is still relevant today. My head was shaved. Is when my head was shaved back. Well, I think everybody should do it once, because it clears your energy, because it unties you to all of every year that, okay, well, when my hair was this long, this happened. It ties you to things vibrationally, is my belief system. So I think everybody should experience it once. Every dude in the military does it. I mean, shit, I was in the military. I cut my hair short but wasn't shaved. But what happened was I was trying to cut it, buzz it down, and the guard, I just had a small trimmer, and the guard frickin' got bound in my thick ass head of hair. It frickin' broke off, and then it went zit down to the scalp. So I'm just like, F it, I'm not going to have a bald spot. So I just took it all down. And then I liked it, and I kept it for a little while. But I want to grow out the top and just keep the long back. And yeah, because because it helps when ponytails help with headaches a lot too. And I figure if when it gets long, I can braid it real tight. That might help with headaches. So I got, it's functional, yet I thought everybody lives as deliberately as me, but I guess they don't. I live pretty deliberate. I don't do nothing for a reason because I don't have a lot of energy or time, so I'm not gonna do a bunch of bullshit that I freaking believe in because I gotta conserve my energy for shit that I love or I care about. I went to college. I did too many years of stuff that I freaking hated doing to do right by my family, and now I'm just gonna do right by my family. I love Keejin. She makes my goofy face smile. Pockets of the Future. I really like him. I would hang out with him and drink coffee and play and see if he played cribbage. SLC. See, and more. See, that's the thing. And my experience with the Mormons, a woman cut my hair for like years, like 7 years, and on the day I went to go see Wicked at Broadway Across America in Omaha, I called her, and she was only 32 years old when she died of uterine cancer, and she'd only been married like 6 months, and she was a virgin, and oh shit, well, she was Mormon, shit. She was Mormon, so I assume she was a virgin when she got married. Because when Mormons wear the garbs and undergarbs and stuff like that, they're pretty devout. So I can make assumptions. But I don't know. I shouldn't. But that's not for me to say. I'm embarrassed. And my hair. I'm just gonna go with it. So she died, and we were very close. She cut my hair. I mean, when people are close to, you want to know about people and about the vibration of the main trend about people, talk to the hairdressers and the stylists, because they're into they know everybody's stuff. And if they know astrological signs and placements, then it's just, they're collecting more data for people like me, And they're hands on. So I was really broken up about that, and then I saw Wicked, and of course it was a very emotional time for me. And then, but she was Mormon, and so ever since then, just because I didn't, before I just wouldn't give them the time of day, but after that, there's like a couple guys that came by the house, and I made them burgers and stuff like that, and we talked all about the temple, and it's right there. I'm going to look at the latitude and longitude. I mean, I went by it and used to drive past it and all the time. And I'm just like, but it was never my world. All this stuff was never my world. So I never paid attention to it. But I always came across people that were part of that world. And now putting it all together, the Masonics, the freaking Jesuits, I just touched my foot in all of these. The Masonics, the Jesuits, the Mormons. What were the other ones? I don't know. I don't need. But there's a couple more, and I don't really need to know the details of the darkness because I'm more for the light anyway. And see, that's the thing is I don't want to know about that. It just always comes across my lap. It always, dude. I found out about my account when I was a baby. When I came across some papers on accident, I found the sheriff report. I read the sheriff report about the it was. I'm like, oh my god. I was probably 13, 12. That was weird. That was weird because you can't ever. Who do you share this stuff with? Ooh, watch time 11:11 concurrent viewers. That's rad. I should probably check on Mom. 6:30. I've been going for a while. 44. Yep. So I thank you all for hanging out. You give me peace at night, and I'll be over in 30 minutes and at David Zublick's channel for the the whistle, there's more. I just like listening to people talk. I'll just zone out and just listen to them to talk and watch the chat and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm hanging out with you guys, So thanks a lot for hanging out, Fredging. Thanks for the flowers. I love them. Mom loves them. It even has eucalyptus in it. Eucalyptus is my favorite. Reminds me of Montana de Order, Montana de Oro, and all that stuff. So I hope you have a rad evening. Peace.